Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Arish Asif Khan, and today we will learn about chemical equilibrium, also known as dynamic equilibrium, from Unit 8th, Class 9th Chemistry book, Federal Board National Book Foundation. So let's talk about chemical equilibrium. A complete reaction is one in which all reactants are fully converted into products. However, in many important chemical reactions, this does not happen. Instead, a mixture of the reactants and the products is formed at the end. This occurs because the products can react again to form the reactants while the reactants continue to form the products. These are called reversible reactions. In easy words, reversible reactions are those reactions in which the reactants can convert to products and then the products can go back to its reactant form. Now, let's talk about the importance of studying equilibrium. Many industrial processes like the production of ammonia, sulfuric acid depend on controlling the reversible reactions. It helps in predicting yields and optimizing reaction conditions. It is also useful for understanding natural processes like the gaseous exchange in the body, evaporation, and condensation. Reversible reactions and dynamic equilibrium. Reversible reactions, as we talked about earlier, a reversible reaction is one where the products can react together to form the original reactants. Example in daily life, when a liquid is placed in a closed container, some molecules evaporate into vapor while some vapor molecules condense back to the liquid form. Eventually, the rate of Eventually, the rate of evaporation is equal to the rate of condensation or the speed, and this is known as dynamic equilibrium. The key points about the reversible reactions. They occur in both directions. This means that they have a forward reaction, which is the reactants to the products, and a reverse reaction, which is products to the reactants. Both reactions happen simultaneously once the equilibrium is reached. Now let's learn about the dynamic equilibrium or the chemical equilibrium. The dynamic equilibrium is achieved when the rate of the forward reaction, or in short the speed of the forward reaction, is equal to the speed of the reverse reaction. The concentrations of the reactants and products must remain constant and the system should be closed. No substances should enter or leave. Even though there is no visible change, the reaction is still happening at the molecular level. It is dynamic, not static. Now let's talk about some examples of reversible reactions. The first is of nitrogen, two diatomic molecules, and it's being added with hydrogen's six diatomic molecules. 3 will be multiplied with 2, so that results in 6. Now then we have a forward arrow and a reverse arrow. This basically means that the nitrogen and the hydrogen 6 molecular atoms combine to produce 2NH3, which is a gas, but they can convert back to its reactant form. Same as for sulfur dioxide. As you can see, we have 2SO2, then we have O2. When these both elements combine, when these both compounds combine, they produce a new product, which is 2SO3. This is basically a gas, and if we want to convert this gas back to its normal form, which was in the reactant form, you can do so as well. Another example is the formation of nitrogen monoxide. You have nitrogen's 2 diatomic molecules being added with oxygen's 2 diatomic molecules. Both of them are gases, so if they both combine, they will produce a product of 2NO. And this is also a gas. This is nitrogen monoxide. Now, if I want to convert nitrogen monoxide back to its reactant form under the same given conditions, then you can do so. Why? Because it is a reversible reaction. A science tip: in fizzy drinks, carbon dioxide is dissolved under high pressure. When you open the bottle, the pressure drops and the CO2 escapes quickly. This forward reaction dominates because the reverse reaction slows down when the gas escapes. Now let's talk about the conditions for equilibrium and we're gonna end this lecture. Equilibrium occurs when forward and backward reaction rates are equal. For equilibrium to be maintained, these conditions must be met. The first condition is the closed system. No substances must enter or leave the system. The second condition is the constant temperature. The temperature must change. The temperature changes can shift the equilibrium position. Constant pressure, especially important in gaseous reactions, and there should be no observable changes like the physical properties of color, concentration, or pressure. They should remain steady. So let's start with the definition. The state of a chemical reaction where the forward and the reverse reactions occur at the same rate, which is known as the same speed, is called chemical equilibrium. During the chemical equilibrium, the rate of the forward reaction must be equal to the rate of reverse reaction. In short, this means that the speed of the forward arrow must be equal to the speed of the reverse arrow. You can call it the reverse reaction as well. Now there is a note to pointer. Chemical equilibrium is dynamic equilibrium. It is because during chemical equilibrium, reactions do not stop. Individual molecules are constantly reacting. However, the concentrations of reactants and products become constant at equilibrium state. Now we can explain chemical equilibrium with the help of an example of a reversible reaction. This reaction is of sulfur trioxide. As you can see, you have 2SO2, which is a type of gas, and it is being added with oxygen's two diatomic molecules. When they both combine, they produce a product which is 2SO3. Now, if you want to convert this product back into its original form, then you can do so. That is why it is known as a reversible reaction, and it consists of the forward and the reverse reactions. Now a forward reaction is when we only have the reactants to the products, and a reverse reaction is when we have the products to the reactants. Let's talk with a detailed explanation. According to the law of mass action, which is not included in your Federal Board book, the rate of a reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of its reactions. Initially, the concentrations of SO2 and oxygen's two diatomic molecules are greater. Therefore, their rate, which I told you is the speed of the forward reaction, it will be high. At this point, the concentration of SO3 is very low, hence the rate of the reverse reaction will be low. As the reaction progresses, the concentrations of SO2 and O2 will decrease due to their conversion into the product. It will cause the rate of the forward reaction to decrease, and simultaneously the concentration will increase of SO3. This increases the rate of the reverse reaction while the rate of the forward reaction will decrease. Eventually, the rate of the forward and reverse reactions will come at a point where they are equal, and this point at which the rate of the forward and reverse reactions became equal is known as chemical equilibrium. So a reversible reaction is a chemical reaction that can proceed in both forward and reverse directions. In these reactions, products can convert back into reactants under certain conditions. They are shown using a double arrow in the chemical equations. Now the first example is of carbon dioxide, which is CO2 in fizzy drinks. In fizzy drinks, carbon dioxide gas is dissolved in water under high pressure. This forms carbonic acid, and this process is reversible. When this process is reversible, this means that carbon dioxide can go back to its original form. So as you can see, we have carbon dioxide which is in a gaseous state, and when it is dissolved in water under a high pressure, it will turn into an aqueous state. Now we have two types of arrows in this equation. The first is for the forward reaction and the second is for the reverse or backward reaction. So this basically means that when carbon dioxide as a gas is dissolved in water under high pressure, it can go back to its original state, which was in the gaseous state. Now I have another chemical equation. For example, if we have carbon dioxide in an aqueous form and we add it in with H2O, which is a liquid. So the new process, the new product will be H2CO3, and this will be in the aqueous form. Why? Because an aqueous liquid was combined with a liquid, so it will produce an aqueous solution. Now when the bottle or can is opened, the pressure will decrease, shifting the equilibrium towards releasing the CO2 gas as bubbles. Closing the container or increasing the pressure will push the reaction back towards dissolving the carbon dioxide. Now we have another example. It is of sulfur trioxide with oxygen. In the contact process for manufacturing sulfuric acid, sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen to form sulfur trioxide. This reaction is reversible. Now in this example, you can see that we have 2SO2. It is in the form of a gas, and when it is combined with oxygen's two diatomic molecules, which is also in a gaseous state, they will form 2SO3. 2SO3 is basically sulfur trioxide. So this chemical reaction is basically a reversible chemical reaction, because sulfur trioxide mixed with oxygen can also go back to its original state. This reaction occurs in the presence of vanadium oxide catalyst at around 450 degrees Celsius and moderate pressure. The reverse reaction can also happen where SO3 decomposes back into SO2 and O2. Now catalyst is basically a type of accelerator which is used to speed up the process of the forward reaction and decrease the rate of reaction of the reverse reaction. I hope you guys liked my lecture. If you did, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you can never miss a future lecture. Also make sure to send this video to your friends and family so they can benefit from it also. Thank you.